5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm good evening to each and everyone watching this broadcast. A special discussion for you all before the third test between India and England, which begins tomorrow at the Motera Stadium in Ahmedabad. Is the venue because it's the world's largest stadium, Sardar Patel Stadium, commonly known as the Motera Stadium, with a seating capacity of more than 110,000. It will host its first international game. The revamped Motera Stadium, with the capacity of 110,000, as I mentioned, will host its first international game, and that to a day-night test. And to spice things up, there'll be crowds present in the stadium. So as we saw at Chepauk in the second test, and with both the teams gearing up as there's a tussle for the qualification in the WTC finals, the World Test Championship finals. It's going to be an enthralling contest between both the teams. Now, I'll dive in straight away into the discussion as I have my guests here. So, another beautiful set of panelists. Mr. Monty Panesar is joining us, former English spinner, and Mr. Varun Kumar, former DDCA player and a BCCI match referee. So, welcome, gentlemen. Starting with Paji. Paji, leave aside the cricket in the game. First, your comments on the newly built stadium, the venue where the tomorrow's match will be played, Motera Stadium, revamped stadium. Every player is talking at lengths about stadium, full of praises. So your comments.
Yeah, it's brilliant, to have a huge stadium in India of such capacity, and I just hope that the test match lasts longer than 3 days, so then we can really celebrate what a great venue this is. Being the first sort of test match being played there. If it kind of if it's a turning wicket, which I know people debated on home advantage, but I think world cricket, they deserve to see this wonderful stadium for at least for 4 days. We can have 4 days on this beautiful stadium.
Yeah. Moving to VK. Not only the stadium, but as I said, the crowds will spice up the excitement which were not seen in the stadium for so long, and we saw in Chepauk and now in the Motera Stadium. So your comments on this, because I think you visited also Motera once.
Yeah, I played my first class game over there, but that was the old Motera that time. And yes, as you mentioned, the public love to go there and watch the action, and everyone is waiting because watching a match at stadium is a different experience, and especially in India, everyone knows that crowd always bring a different kind of action for the game. And with the capacity of Motera of 110,000, and as 50% capacity is allowed, so around 50,000 people will be there, which is still a very huge number, because there are many stadiums around the world which have the capacity of around 20,000, 30,000. But in Motera, when the half of capacity will be seated tomorrow, which is going to be around 50,000 people, so definitely it's going to be electrifying atmosphere, and it's always bring a different scenario and different atmosphere in the game, and especially during this COVID time, when now everywhere in matches, like crowds are coming in and watching a live action. So it's a good sign for everyone, for even for cricketers, for association, and for the public also. So everyone is waiting for this historic match, which is going to start tomorrow.
Yeah. Paji, talking about the pink ball, which has extra bit of pigment, extra bit of lacquer on it, providing a better swing, and swing more than what red ball provides for a more longer time span. But Paji, when the pink ball test was held in Kolkata at Eden Gardens, we saw there was a hard surface, and about 6 millimeter of grass was left on the wicket so that pink ball does not Laker remains intact, and pink ball, as we speak, it's heard that it often requires a hard surface. And what we are hearing about the reports from Motera, that there is a hard surface and there is some grass on the wicket, but final picture will be seen tomorrow. But your thought on pink ball, and how do you think that it will help the pacers more than the spinners, and the role of spinners with the pink ball?
Yeah, well, I think it'll probably help the seam bowlers more, and the fast bowlers. So I think England, are favourites, to going into this Test match. India in Adelaide lost. They got bowled out for 36. That ball starts moving a little bit. If there's a potential chance of reversing, I think India will panic. They're not as good. When the ball starts swinging. So expect England making a comeback, and if conditions favour them, any sort of swing, even in that last session when there's a bit of floodlights, I think England can get themselves back in the game. So that's what I think India are going to be wary of, and don't be surprised. India skittle England skittle India and win this Test match.
Yeah, and Padi, about the role of spinners, it's often said that wrist spinners often get more purchase out of the pink ball rather than finger spinners. So your comments, please shed some light on this.
Yeah, we see Ashwin bowl at Adelaide. He wasn't as effective. It was more with the bounce. So I think this team, they kind of struggle with the turn of Ashwin, not the bounce. And they relied so heavily on Ashwin. So it'll be interesting to see how he bowls on these wickets. If he doesn't get that same turn like he got in Chennai, I think England are looking to capitalise. They're a strong team. They're very determined. And Ben Stokes hasn't been utilised. So if he gets his, tail up and he bowls sort of 10 to 12 overs in this Test match in one spell, it could be curtains for this Indian team.
Yeah, so VK, as Padi mentioned about the role of spinners and the pacers getting some help. So what we are hearing as of now, the surface is hard. So how much important will be the factor of toss? Because in the first test, the toss was really very important. In the second test, it was not of that importance because turn was on offer right from the first day. But in this third test, with this pink ball, where often the first session is considered as a very good batting session. So how much will toss play a role in determining the test match?
I think more to toss, it will be more depend on for any team. I mean, how they bat under the lights with the pink ball, how they tackle especially the batsmen from both sides, how they tackle the pink ball under the lights. Because whatever pink ball test matches so far held around the world, we have witnessed that it starts seaming around, it moves a lot as compared to the red ball under the lights. So both side are consist of a fantastic fast bowling attacks, and they got a world class bowlers. So it will be a different challenge for the batsmen now in this test match to tackle that pink ball, to face the pink ball under lights. And as you mentioned, it is always like every batsman love to bat during that first session, that afternoon session. So that will be the session when every batsman love to score maximum runs. And after that, when it will, with the time, move on and lights will start taking over the ground, at that time batsman will be going to be a little more protective, and they need to tackle that pink ball effect in this game. So as Paji also mentioned, that spin definitely depends how the surface will be there, because till now whatever the pictures were coming, there were some grass were there. But as Anderson also mentioned, that grass might be coming off on a match day. So if that happens, then the spinners will also come into action, but definitely they won't come in action as early as it was in Chennai. Definitely is going to be a little hard as compared to Chennai. So England will be feeling much more pleasing out there at Motera right now, as they were in Chennai, and it's going to be a good test match and good test for the batsmen from both sides.
Yeah. We'll as you mentioned about twilight hour and the challenges thrown by the twilight hour to the batsmen to face, especially the swing bowler. So we'll come to that. But before, let's have a look at the squad of both the teams. Firstly, talking about the England squad. The squad is on your screen. And Joe Root is captaining Jimmy Anderson, Jofra Archer, Bairstow, Dominic Best, Stuart Broad, Rory Burns, Jack Crowley, Ben Fox, Dan Lawrence, Jack Leach, Oli Pope, Dom Sibley, Ben Stokes, Oli Stone, Chris Wokes, and Mark Wood. So, Paji, Jimmy Anderson coming in as an automatic choice, but the opening conundrum for England, Zach Crawley and Dominic Sibley and Rory Burns. So, who do you think will Zach Crawley come in, or will England go with the same opening combination?
Yeah, look, I think England probably look to bring Zach Crawley and open him with the batting because of Ashwin's threat with the left-hander. And I think Rory Burns will probably miss out in this test match. I think they'll go with the right-hand combination because Ashwin actually has taken, I think, the most test wickets against the left-hander, which is over 200. So, he's going to pose a huge threat to, Rory Burns. So I expect Rory Burns missing out in this test match.
Okay. And as far as the fast bowling is concerned, Jimmy Anderson comes in. Stuart Broad, do you envisage Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson playing together?
I don't expect Stuart Broad playing in this test match. And in fact, I think it's the last time we've seen Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad playing together, unless the pitch is really, seamer-friendly conditions. I think they, will play one after the other test match, and Jofra Archer will come back. In my opinion, I think he's been, really good with his fast bowling, and possibly the likes of Chris Wokes, that all-rounder batting position will be quite vital. But I think we expect Ben Stokes to, bowl a few overs and produce, possibly a match-winning spell.
And VK. In the last test, Moeen Ali and Jack Leach played. Moeen Ali, as Paji was mentioning in the previous test, that he actually underbowled and could not bowl consistently all the 6 balls. So, do you think that Dominic Best will come in this test match, or Jack Leach or Moeen Ali? So, will England go with one of the spinners, or all 3, or 2 of them?
See, it's all depend on the wicket. I mean, on a match day, what kind of surface will be there, whether if they take off the grass and with the combination England have. But I have a feeling that they might go with the one spinner only. That will be Jack Leach, and they might strengthen their fast bowling attack. And I love to see Chris Wokes coming to playing 11, as Paji mentioned, that he can strengthen the batting also. And he got a beautiful seam positioning, and whenever he bowls, especially under these conditions, under the lights and with the pink ball, he will be going to be very effective. And there is a possibility, and I think, as Paji mentioned, that Rory Burns can miss out this test match, and Crawley can make a way, and that will be a very good boost for England team. And even Bairstow will be available for this playing 11, and he can come in place of Lawrence, I guess. I mean, that can strengthen their middle order. And if suppose Wokes is playing, then they will be having a very solid lower middle order too. And on England will be looking in much better team combination in this test match, I believe. And it's going to be definitely, as Paji mentioned, it won't be a surprise if they give some surprise to Team India in this test game.
Yeah, I was coming to Johnny Bairstow, Paji, as we just now mentioned, that with Johnny Bairstow coming in, Jimmy Anderson coming in, do you agree with what VK mentioned about the spinners, that you'll go with Jack Leach as the lone spinner in the game?
Yeah, look, I think with that there's a session. I think that session under lights is where probably be seamer session. I don't expect the spinners to do much. Maybe later on in day 2, day 3. So on that point of view, I think England will probably play to their strengths, which is a seam. It wouldn't surprise me if they go with one spinner. And it really just depends on Ben Stokes. Joe will probably ask him the question: look, how much bowling do you want to do in this Test match? Do you fancy running in for us, or and I think depending on his mood and what his body is like, will they go with the extra? Will they go for another spinner or the extra seamer? So very much depends on Ben Stokes how much workload he wants to put in.
So Paji, your pace attack will include Chris Wokes, Jofra Archer, and Jimmy Anderson. So you're not envisaging Broaden and Anderson playing together. So is this your pace attack with three paces?
Yeah, I think that'll probably be the three paces with Chris Wokes probably like for like replacement with Moeen Ali batting at 8, and then Jack Leach at 9, and then we've got Ben 7, and then gosh, it's interesting how I'm going up the order. And then we got 6 at Ben Stokes, and then Johnny Bairstow at 5.
Okay. So it's very important for England to win because they cannot afford losing a Test match if they have to actually qualify in the WTC finals against New Zealand. Now coming to the Indian squad. Indian squad consists of Virat Kohli, the captain, Umesh Yadav, very important inclusion as far as the pink ball is concerned and the way he reverse swings the ball. Rohit Sharma, Mayank Agarwal, Shubman Gill, Cheteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya, Rishabh Pant, Saha, Ashwin, Kuldeep Yadav, Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar, Ishant Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah, and Mohammad Siraj. Paji, do you expect Umesh Yadav in the 11 as the way he can exploit reverse swing better than others? Because Jasprit Bumrah is an automatic inclusion.
Yeah, look, I don't expect Umesh Yadav to play, to be honest. I think Jasprit Bumrah will be a better option with Mohammad Siraj and Ishant Sharma, playing his 100th Test match, and he will join the likes of Kapil Dev, who famously, got 9 for 83, and Ahmedabad, but it was obviously wasn't the same pitch. So I think them 3 seamers, I think that works really well for India. If it does reverse a little bit, they've got Jasprit Bumrah there. And they've got the new ball bowler with Ishant Sharma, and I think Kuldeep Yadav misses out. I think Virender Ashwin and Akshar Patel will play, and then we've got Mayank Agarwal, who I think will probably open the batting with Rohit Sharma. I think that defense attacking option probably allows Rohit Sharma to play a bit more freely.
Yeah. So VK, as Paji mentioned about Kuldeep Yadav missing out, but previously we talked about wrist spinners getting more punches out of this pink ball instead of finger spinner. So still, you think that Kuldeep Yadav will miss the game because of the performance which was displayed by Akshar Patel, and Ravi Ashwin is obviously having a dream run.
Yeah, I mean, so please carry on.
Paji,
you go. Sorry, you go.
No, Paji, you can.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Akshar Patel and both Virender Ashwin bowled really well. So both of them put together is a better option on these wickets. Look, you look at this India team, they're going to obviously have their fast bowling option, covered. Then they also look to have their spin bowling, try and cover them areas. They're going to obviously, bowl to their strength, which is spin. And it really depends on this England batting lineup. If they can make quick adjustments, technically see how the Indian players are playing, go at the ball, go behind the ball, come down the wicket. If they can play with that bit more freedom, hopefully we'll see a bit more of an even contest, and I think, like as much as I'm being so optimistic about England, trying to get themselves in the game, I think the real battle is going to be Ashwin versus the England batsman. If Ashwin gets a hold of them, then unfortunately, England will find it difficult to win this game.
VK, so a different question to you regarding Virat Kohli and Cheteshwar Pujara, two of the pillars of Indian batting. How important it is for Cheteshwar Pujara, or moreover Virat Kohli, to come back in form, because they actually stabilize the Indian batting and they are the pillars of Indian batting?
obviously, I mean, Pujara is there. He is doing what Rahul Dravid used to do for Team India during the last 15 years time, and now that same thing is done by Pujara. He's there and stucking at one end and giving that confidence to whole dressing room that I'm there and just stucking to one end, and he's doing since last so many years, and especially under these conditions now again Pujara role will be very important to hang at one end and let others to play their natural game. And about Virat Kohli, I always think, I mean, whenever the player like Kohli, they just not able to make runs for couple of innings, then people start thinking they are out of form. They are never out of form. I mean, they are like so much of consistent performer. It is just that matter of time that we are so used to of those big runs from Kohli, and whenever he's making just 40 50s, it looks like as if he is out of form. He's never out of form. He whatever he was, whatever batting he was doing in last two test matches, he was looking in a good touch. Yes, he must be hunger to make a big runs, and this is going to be a special venue for him to come back into his routine of big innings scoring runs. And I'm sure that he will definitely going to make some impact in this game, and he always more comfortable when the ball is coming onto bat rather than playing on a slow wickets, because he's a good back foot player and he attacks well. So definitely, and as you mentioned, these two players are very important for Team India, the most experienced batsmen in this batting lineup, especially in test format, and they need to perform really well for this particular game. And Indian team will be looking and hoping that they make a big runs for Team India. And especially, and I also believe that that even the role of Rohit Sharma again will be very very important. How he, and if Gill is there along with him, then or whether it's Mayank Agarwal will play. It's all depend that how openers lay down the base for the rest of the batting lineup.
Yeah. Paji, as VK mentioned now, my question is that Jimmy Anderson with this pink ball against Virat Kohli will obviously look to regain not his form, but will obviously look to score big for his team because he always likes to contribute to his team. So, your comments on this battle between Anderson and Kohli, which is an exciting battle to watch out in a match. So, with this pink ball, who will actually get the better of whom?
Well, I think Jimmy Anderson, if he gets it to swing a little bit or even get that movement, I think Virat Kohli is scared of Jimmy Anderson. You know, I think he doesn't face him, doesn't like facing him, and that's quite evident when he saw in that last over in the first innings, in the fourth innings actually, when he bowled that magical delivery. Which, funny enough, is I can't find it on Twitter, that video. You know, I think don't know where's that gone missing. But anyway, look, it's going to be an interesting battle. I think you know, this Indian team preferably don't want that ball to swing or move, but they know that Jimmy Anderson is one of the best, and if he gets it going, then it will be compelling viewing for all cricket fans around the world.
Yeah. Also, Paji, Root, you also mentioned about English spinners that they weren't able to bowl 6 balls consistently in an area, which Root also mentioned in the post-match presentation after the second test. So, Jack Leach playing, do you expect more consistency from spinners in this pink ball test? Because because even in this test, you will not get much offering from the wicket.
Yeah, look, Jack Leach is, you know, he has been obviously a bit of a disappointment. I think his consistency, he's taken wickets, but it's like India scored too many runs, you know, when he gets his wickets. So he's, you know, this is his now 4th test match. You know, it's going to be his 5th one he's playing now. By now, he should be able to land 6 in an area, and consistency should be there. And if that's not the case, then obviously it just shows that he doesn't have the skill, you know, to actually bowl 6 balls in the right area. And that's something that Joe Root probably will have to then assess and think, how do we get Jack Leach better? How do we get him to bowl where we want him to? So that's something that I'm sure the Indian batsman will put him under pressure. They will, that ball probably, I don't know if it will turn as much. If Ashwin can't get it to turn, then it'll be very difficult for Jack Leach. So that's one thing that I think if India are astute, they should, look to put him under pressure, see how he reacts, and then take it from there. But yeah, this is a big test match for Jack Leach. He'll probably be the only spinner playing. And if that is the case, there'll be a lot of pressure on him to actually deliver and perform.
Yeah. So at last, I would like to ask for a prediction from both of you. Different questions. VK, for you, that will Kohli break his drought of centuries? Will he score one in this test?
Definitely, we all hope and we really want that also. And I'm sure that he will come up with a big inning, and he will definitely go and make a three-digit runs for himself and for the team.
Aji, your favorites for this test, because India coming with the momentum. England also not bad for an overseas team to come level the series, to come leveling the series into the third test. If Root was asked to take it before the test series, he would have taken it with both his hands, because 1-1 in India before the third test match is not an instance which we often see for a visiting team. So your favorites, or how much percentage do you give to both the teams?
If the pitch turns from day one, India win this test match. And if it doesn't turn, then England got a chance of winning it, and they've got to win the sessions when they are in a stronger position. And if they don't do that, and India kind of find a way of battling through good bowling spells for England, or England batters don't look to sort of combat, let's say, when Indian bowlers are bowling well. That's what it is. So if it turns from day one, India win this. If it doesn't turn, then we've got a chance in England, to something to celebrate, to give my Bhangra dance to you Indian fans if we win the fourth test match.
Just as we are about to wrap, and as we were taking our predictions, Shirish sir joins us. He was stuck in some terrible traffic, which he mentioned to me. So I told him to join in between. So welcome, Shirish sir.
Thank you.
Just quick 10 minutes or 8 to 10 minutes extension for you. Shirish sir, quickly tell us that what do you expect out of this third test? Because the reports which are coming, that surface looks quite hard. Even there is grass on the wicket, but final picture will be taken tomorrow before the day's play. So what do you expect of this third test? And who are you taking as favorites?
Well, India will be favored to win for sure. Rohit Sharma did mention a couple of days ago that the curator is likely to leave a little bit of grass on the track, which could aid seam bowling more than the spin bowling that we had in Chennai. And today's papers mentioned that the track is likely to be shown completely bald. So I think we will know only when the two captains go up for the toss, or the commentators turn around and give us a preview of what the wicket is likely to play like. But I feel that they will try to take pace out of the equation as much as possible, and yet the team is expected to go in with three seamers and two spinners. I don't think India announced its team? No.
No,
as usual.
I'm showing you a quick squad, quick view of the squad. This is how the Indian squad looks like for the third and the fourth test. And
this is the 17. This is the 17.
Yeah. This is squad. Yeah, and this is the England squad. So, Shirish sir, do you expect any changes? Means Jimmy Anderson coming in for England, Jasprit Bumrah coming in.
That's absolutely certain.
India.
That's absolutely
Johnny
certain.
Bairstow coming in for England.
That's absolutely certain.
Apart from that,
What does Monty Paji think?
Well, I think simple, to be honest. We can talk about team selections all day long. If that ball turns day one, India win this test match. It doesn't matter who's playing, right? Now, if it isn't turning, then England have got a chance. Then I've got a chance to do my dance like Ashwin and Hardik Pandya and Kuldeep Dev. I will give you a Bhangra dance when we win the 4th test match.
Yeah.
Do you expect Kuldeep to play in this test?
Well, I expect him to carry the drinks, and whenever Virat Kohli needs a drink, he's there to give him that water bottle.
Yes, I expect that too. I think the two premier spinners that we had in Chennai will probably continue, Akshar Patel and Ashwin, and the pace attack could be bolstered. It depends on whether Hardik Pandya is going to bowl. If he's not going to bowl, then probably he will not be in the team either. Yeah. This is what I feel. And
Umesh has cleared his fitness test. Umesh has cleared his fitness test. Will you fancy a chance on including Umesh in the 11 because Paji is rejected?
No, neither. I also reject the idea. Yeah. The pacers that we have, Jasprit Bumrah should lead the attack, and you've got Ishant Sharma. And the third one is, again, it makes no sense to change from what we had in Chennai. So the Jasprit Bumrah coming in is for sure because he's required for that pink ball test. And Ishant is bowling well enough. And Ashwin, Akshar, you cannot drop. So I think there will be the 5 bowlers that India likes to play with nowadays, playing for India. And for the English side, definitely there will be Bairstow and Jimmy Anderson coming in. Not too many other changes that I can think of.
Okay, so we will wrap up the session. But before wrapping up, quickly predict that, or tell your prediction that who is going to score a century in next match, the 3rd test match which starts tomorrow for India.
Virat won't be scoring. Trust me, Virat's not scoring a century. It'll be Rohit Sharma again.
Okay, interesting. Shirish sir?
I second that. I absolutely second that.
But tell the players' names.
Virat is overdue a century, but he is in the kind of form that he's right up there, but one step below. Not the kind of step which you expect him to be in when he's all-conquering. When you feel that nothing can get him out except a run-out, perhaps. And even that is difficult because he's so quick between the wickets. So I think what Paji said was absolutely right. It would be Rohit Sharma I would expect to score a century. And from the English side, I would say Johnny Bairstow could come in with a ton. He's the kind of batsman who really plays well, and I think he loves the Indian attack. What do you say, Varun?
If definitely, I mean, I'm sure Monty Paji must be really wanted the Bairstow to score 100, and but practically, if Bairstow makes 100, then England will be in a very solid position because he'll be coming at middle order, and he's making runs will give a cushion to player like Ben Stokes, who will be batting along with him, and he can play freely if Bairstow is making a good partnership with him. And for Virat Kohli, I believe he will make a run in this game, and definitely I'm sure I have some instinct that he will make a century in this game, and as we were talking about this game earlier also, that it is all about the batting, how the both side batting will tackle out this pink ball, and whosoever will battle out more better way, they will be going to have an upper hand in this game. So it's going to be a different challenge as compared to Chennai, what we had, and it's going to be altogether a different game over here.
From the bowler side, whom would you predict would do the best on this track for England and for India? Paji?
Ben Stokes, I think he's going to pull. He's going to definitely turn up in this match. He will surprise a few of the players. And I think from India point of view, I think Akshar Patel will be a surprising one for me because I think people kind of unassuming in the backlight. No one really, rates him as highly as Jadeja, and I think he's very effective. So he could be producing get some crucial wickets.
Yeah, and as VK mentioned, the batting in the twilight hour, which will be something decisive as far as this pink ball, this day-night test match is concerned, because twilight hour is the most decisive phase. So, Paji, do you agree with VK that Johnny Bairstow will be the man scoring ton for England? The savior?
Yeah. Johnny Bairstow's got a good chance of scoring 100.
Okay, so Virat is lacking support, but Johnny Bairstow is gathering full support from our panelists. So, on this note, let's wrap up the session. We'll meet tomorrow post the day's play, and we'll analyze what happened today. So, anyone has any closing comments or
A
just wrap
fifer?
up?
Anyone?
Yeah, see.
I just want to, congratulate Ishant Sharma. He'll be playing his 100 Test match, and
Yes,
as
that's true.
Paji mentioned before, also that he will be the second Indian to do that, second fast bowler to do that after Kapil Dev, and it's a very big achievement. And probably this is the reason that Anderson and Broad are so they hold such a big that legendary image, because they are still going so well, and they have already crossed 160 mark test matches. And so same way we can say that what Ishant had contributed in last 13 years, it has been a tremendous effort from him as a fast bowler, especially coming from any Asian side. It's a very big achievement to play 100 test matches for your country. And definitely I in last 2 test games, he's looking in a very good rhythm, and I think he can change the game for Indian team in this game, and he can be that bowler who can claim 5 wickets with that pink ball.
VK, you've played for DDC and you've watched Ishant Sharma very closely. So tomorrow we'll talk of some of the aspects of Ishant Sharma, which is unknown to anyone outside. So we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Sure,
Surely,
definitely.
his 100th test, and it's celebration time for Ishant Sharma, because not many pacers have that fitness and have that work management or work ethic to cross that 100 mark. And one of his counterparts is a role model, Jimmy Anderson, as we see him, how athletic he's on the field, and while bowling, everyone knows what he can do. So on this note, now let's end this session, and tomorrow we'll meet post the day's play, and another enthralling test. And not to forget that it's the WTC, World Test Championship cycle. It's the fight for the finals. So yeah, am I audible?
Yeah.
So it's the fight for the finals, and let's see who makes it to the finals. The chances of India is certainly high, as they just need to win one of the test match, but England can't afford to lose any. So let's meet tomorrow, guys. Thanks a lot, gentlemen. Thanks a lot for viewing. Thanks a lot, Shirish, for joining. VK, Paji, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Good day.